Hello, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the closing ceremony of the 2021 HLF. When I say great pleasure, I mean I'm obviously very honored to be hosting, but I am also a little bit sad that this week's festivities are coming to an end. But we do have quite the show in store for you over the next 20 to 30 minutes, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. And I would like to begin proceedings by welcoming the scientific chair of the HLF, Anna Wienhard, on stage to say a few words. Anna, if you'd like to come and join me.
Hi, Tom.
Hello. So how has the week gone? So, you put a lot of thought into preparing and coming up with this brilliant program. So how has it gone from your perspective?
I mean, for me, the last 4 days were truly amazing. So it was just wonderful to see how the laureates, the young researchers, but also panelists and guests engaged digitally and worked together. And I think even though we couldn't be all together here on the ground in Heidelberg and interact personally, we could feel a bit of the spirit of the HLF.
Yes.
So that has been really amazing, I think.
Absolutely. I think you kind of tapped into it there. It's obviously been a little bit of a challenge, would be an understatement, given the circumstances. But I've noticed it myself, I think, that there's still been those interactions that we really want to have happen this week.
No, I made the claim in the opening ceremony that we want to make it dynamic and interactive, and that was our goal. And I think given the feedback we received through email, chat, social media, from the young researchers and also other people, I think we achieved that. The other thing which I really liked, when I look back at the 4 days, so much happened in these 4 days. I mean, they went by like that, and we had a program which was really broad and covered a broad range of topics. So we had these lectures on scientific breakthroughs of the past 2 years. We had discussions and panels on important topics, but we also had these panels and hands-on workshop on communicating science, and we had the hot topic on epidemic modeling, and the laureate discussion yesterday and today, where laureates discussed the ethical and societal implications of advances in computing and in information technology. And this, for me, was also very important because it shows that the laureates are not just distinguished mathematicians and computer scientists who sit in the ivory tower, but it's really researchers who engage, take responsibility, engage with society. And I also really was impressed by the enthusiasm with which the young researchers engage in these discussions, both in the scientific ones, but then also bringing up these questions of impact and responsibility. Mm-hmm. And seeing that, it really makes me happy, and it also makes me hopeful for the future of our disciplines, mathematics and computer science, but also of our world and society as a whole. I think we really need these passionate and engaged researchers.
I'm just smiling to myself because I can tell just how much you've enjoyed this by the way like this is real passion here. It's awesome. And just finally, I know this is a hard question, but do you think you have like a particular highlight that stands out for you from the last 4 days, from like a personal perspective, something that really sticks in your mind?
Yeah, for me personally, I think the best moments were those interacting with the alumni and alumnae we had on the ground, helping us as moderators, as bloggers, in the opening ceremony. So on one hand, we had this personal interaction, but it was also wonderful to see how they grew and how they flourished in their careers after being young researchers here at the HLF a few years ago. So
yeah, I certainly recognize a few faces from 2018 and 2019 when I was here as well. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Anna. And we would also like to introduce our two other guests who are joining us on stage. So we have Burcu. We have Burcu, and we also have Diffie. Burcu is representing the young researchers, and Whit, of course, is representing the laureates. So we'd love to get a little bit of feedback from you both on how it's gone from your perspective as the participants. And perhaps we could start with yourself, Burcu.
I think it was an amazing opportunity to being able to in this environment. So I thank all the organization, and it was a memorable, unforgettable week for us. And I feel very happy to know the laureates and also all the students from different countries, different time zones, and I feel the same feelings of everyone. We thrilled a lot, and thank you for this nice opportunity. It was an amazing week for all of us.
Awesome. And I have to ask, how was the virtual aspect? So, of course, we've heard from Anna that she was really pleased with how it went, and I think it went really well. But from your perspective as a young researcher, how did it compare to other remote events that you've been part of?
Due to this pandemic situation, we all get used to being in online events. So from my perspective, being in HLF 21 was quite different because we were also on the spot. We were just watching the things from online, but sometimes the camera is just turning on and we are just talking to the laureates and some other scientists from different part of the world. So it was quite amazing from my side and quite dynamic program. Thank you very much for your this platform giving us the opportunity.
Awesome. And I believe you have a question for our laureate, do you not?
Yeah, we have the questions during the week, but specifically I would like to ask Professor that how was the feeling that being interaction with the young researchers from your side? It was amazing from our side, obviously, but...
I have found that in general one of the most rewarding aspects of this meeting. For various reasons, I didn't do any this time, so I don't have didn't have that experience. I'm hoping it may occur in extended form. I'm open to people getting in touch with me and talking about things that interest them.
Thank you very much.
And Whit, you of course had your discussion a couple of days ago now with Leslie, which I thoroughly enjoyed. You both.
I enjoyed it too.
Yeah, it looks like you were both having so much fun, which I think was what made me enjoy it. I could see you were having such a good time talking with your friend. And I just wondered whether now you've had a little bit of time to sort of, let's say, process everything that was discussed. I just wondered if you could summarize or add a few final thoughts just to sort of conclude that discussion.
Well, it was, the discussion was about the role of mathematical proof in computer science. And I think Leslie and I have somewhat different views of that. But what is interesting is that unlike a vast piece of, 20th century mathematics, which is about the limitations of proof overall, this is a matter of a set of different practical problems that you run into in trying to take what I consider one of the greatest discoveries in all human history, the discovery of proof, and apply it to computer science, which one would have thought would be a particularly tractable and turns out to be fairly intractable.
I did. I mentioned this to you, of course, this morning, but I did enjoy when you said you felt you were rescued from proof in computer science when you discovered cryptography.
Yes.
That for me was one of my favorite moments of the week. And just finally, Burcu, just basically the same question I asked to Anna. If you had to pick one moment that's really stood out for you this week as a young researcher, what would that be?
As I told you, we were quite happy and glad to know everyone. But from my side, it was amazing to see still the laureates amazing feeling have seeing each other's. I was really quite impressed that they still have this like improvement, development inside of them. And then it was amazing time to see. They are also very glad to see each other's and they are very happy.
Awesome. Well, thank you both, Burcu and also Whit, for giving us your thoughts on the week. Now, each year at the HLF, we show a short video during the closing ceremony, looking back at everything that has happened over the past week. And this year, of course, will be no different. So we have this short video for you, put together by the team at Otto Mizu. Enjoy. Amazing. Though far too much of me for my liking there, especially the yoga pose. Anna, again, seeing some of those images, it really has been a fantastic week, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has been fantastic, and it was also nice to hear here in the studio the people around. I mean, laughing at some of the pictures and remembering those really nice moments we had this week. And I think it also shows. I mean, it's amazing to see the breadth and also the different formats we had, also all the work which went into it with, the technical setup here, green screen studio, the VR, the conference tool. Yeah.
The green screen studio is quite something. It might be my new favorite toy. Amazing, thank you. Right, now, we've come to the part of the closing ceremony where I have been given free rein to entertain you, which is a rather dangerous proposition. But when I was thinking about what I might talk about or do here, I, of course, came back to this theme of, us all being apart and everything being a bit virtual. And I thought, well, how can I try and bring the laureates and bring all of us to you as the young researchers as much as possible? And this actually led me back to the 2019 HLF when I was here as a journalist, in fact. And I set myself a challenge that year of trying to get a selfie with all 22 laureates present. Kind of like collecting Pokemon. At least that's how I saw it, being a Pokemon fan. And I did manage to get all 22, and I think we've got some of them here on the slide that you can have a look through. So I managed to get all 22 that were present. Some of them were easier than others. Some of them looked very confused as to what quite was going on when I approached them and asked for a photo. But, I was proud of the achievement. It was good fun, and I appreciate them all for taking part in, and entertaining me, I guess, during that week. But, of course, being a mathematician, I couldn't just leave it there. I could, hopefully it's fun to look at the photos, but I decided to do some, I'm going to say relatively basic statistics, but I did a little bit of statistics earlier because these were all being posted on Instagram over the past sort of 2 years or so. And I thought, well, can we analyze, the number of likes that each of these posts receive, super scientific, I know, number of likes that each of these posts receive, to maybe establish the social media champion out of our laureates, or at least the laureates that were present in 2019. So the very first thing I did, in fact, was to compare subjects. So I took the laureates who are mathematicians and, added up the total number of likes and divided by the number of photos to get the average score for a mathematician, and then the same for the computer scientists. And the winner in that particular challenge was maths. So maths is apparently more popular, or mathematician selfies are apparently more popular on Instagram than computer scientists. But fear not computer science, because I then looked at the different awards. Of course, there are 5 awards which are sort of a criteria for a laureate to be invited to the HLF. And computer science won in this particular situation. So the most popular prize or award on social media was the Neven-Lina Prize, which of course goes to a computer scientist. And then finally, of course, I wanted to determine which laureate was the most popular on Instagram based on my selfies. And so we're going to have a little bit of a countdown for the top 3, keep you all in suspense. So in third place, we have the evergreen Vint Cerf. So Vint is a Turing Award winner and, of course, the evangelist of the internet, or some fantastic title that he has currently at Google. In second place, we had Gregory Margulis. I believe Gregory is a mathematician, a Fields Medal recipient. And then for first, we have not 1, but 2 laureates. It was actually a tie in terms of the most likes on Instagram. So we have both Martin Hera, representing maths, and Bob Tarjan, representing computer science. So my extremely scientific analysis of who are the most popular laureates and the most popular subjects on social media concludes that it's maths, it's the Neven-Lina Prize, and it's Bob Tarjan, and Martin Herrer. And with that, I am afraid that is it from me. It's been a real pleasure hosting all of the events this week. A huge thank you to the production team for putting up with me, basically always being late, and everyone else. And thank you to all of you for watching, and also thank you very much to Anna for letting me be a part of this fantastic program. So I will hand over now to Anna to say the very final closing remarks.
Thank you, Tom. So the 8th Heidelberg Laureate Forum is coming to an end. In this closing ceremony, we'll look back at some highlights. We had impressions from the week from Burcu and Whit. And as I already said that in the beginning, from the feedback we received from you young researchers through the chat on the conference tool, through social media, and also by email, I think it's fair to say that we achieved what we set out to do, to make this digital 8th HLF a truly dynamic and interactive experience. At the end of this closing, I would also like to somewhat boldly look forward into the future. Forward to the 9th Heidelberg Laureate Forum in 2022. What will the 9th HLF bring? I don't know. My wish is that in a year from now, we will not be just live on stage here in the new aula, but we will actually be here live all together with many laureates, with 200 young researchers from all over the world. Will my wish come true? I don't know, but what I know for sure is that we will do everything and we will try to make it happen, to have an HLF next year in person, and an HLF which is at least as engaging and interactive and inspiring as this year's HLF was. For me, this is now also the right moment to say thank you. Thank you to everyone who made this wonderful 8th Heidelberg Laureate Forum possible. First, even though Tom is not on the stage with me anymore, I would like to thank Tom for being our host every morning, preparing us for the day, guiding us through the program, and closing it off in the evening, and also now in the closing ceremony. Thank you very much, Tom, for being here with us this week. I would like to thank Heidelberg University for providing this wonderful venue for us. My thanks also go to the vlog team in front and behind the camera. Your video blog provided insights we usually do not get. Also cheers to the blog team who provided live coverage of some of the sessions. My thanks go to all the support staff here on ground who took care of all the technical, logistical tasks, providing us with food, internet, and everything. Special thanks I would like to extend to Ottomiso and their partners for helping us make this HLF a digital reality. I also want to thank all the partners of the HLF. Some of them you saw in the partner booths, all experts on the panels, on the workshops, and especially all of you laureates who engaged in the lectures, in discussion, and debates, and shared your insights and advice for the young researchers. And thank you to all you young researchers for your spirited contributions. I want to express also our gratitude to the Klaus Tschira Foundation for making the HLF this year and in all the other years possible. And last but not least, I would like to thank our HLFF team, who worked tirelessly for months to make this 8th Heidelberg Laureate Forum happen. And I would like to call them onto the stage with me. Sarah, Martina, and Daniela from Young Researchers Relations and Organization. Volker and Jürgen from Outreach and Exhibition. Nicole, Laura, Wilder, and KC from Communications. Silke and Max, from the support we got from the Klaus Tschira group. And the woman who holds all the strings together, our managing director, Ruth Wettler. So it's great to have you here on the stage, and I would really say, my dearest, thank you for everything, not just this week, but also the many months before. So, thanks. They now have to leave the stage because they prepared something which they are going to show you soon. In the Lindau lecture, Donna Strickland told us about photons. And she told us about the dance of photons, how they move around chaotically if left by themselves, and how they align, get synchronized, and get into rhythm by a laser. This inspired our team to perform a special act. And this will be the last act of this closing. And this act is also to bring you into the mood for the dance in the after party in the virtual reality afterwards. So curtains are up for the performance. So, with this, I would like to invite you to come to the dance floor, join us in the virtual reality for the after party, with a live DJ joining us from the green screen studio here in Heidelberg. And with impressions from the dance last year at the HLF, to also get you into the mood, I would like to say goodbye, auf Wiedersehen, see you again here in Heidelberg. Bye.